Welcome to this week's episode of Maroon TV News. I'm Liz Stark.
I'm Louise Simpson, and here are this week's top stories. On Friday, the Civic Knowledge Center invited philosopher Peter Singer to speak at Mandel Hall. Singer discussed the hazards of climate change and its moral implications. Singer is most known for his work on applied ethics in his book, Animal Liberation, but he's been long known as the most read modern philosopher. Born and raised in Australia, Singer became a professor at Princeton in 1999. The event was hosted by the Civic Knowledge Project, which works to mend social, economic, and racial barriers on the south side of Chicago.
Students, families, and alumni celebrated the university's 125th anniversary at homecoming this weekend. Maroon TV was on the scene to cover this year's celebration. First, on Thursday night, the Student Alumni Committee hosted a homecoming banner competition in Henry Crown Fieldhouse. Teams were made up of houses, Greek organizations, and RSOs, competing for a top prize of $500. This year's contest had a birthday theme to celebrate the university's anniversary. I chatted with students to find out more about the competition. Cool, so what is your inspiration for this piece?
Well, I liked Sten Boyer on Facebook, and I think he's got some good things to say, and yeah.
What is the inspiration for your banner?
Yeah, so we have right now a phoenix coming out of a birthday cake, but what's going to eventually be there, we're probably planning to have little gargoyles with party hats on the sides, and also over the top of the entire thing in sort of block letters, it will say, "Go shorty, it's your birthday, we gon' party like it's your birthday," in sort of bright blue letters. So that's, like, I think right now it looks sort of standard, but that will hopefully set us apart from the crowd a little bit.
And what happened last year?
Yeah, so last year our house theme actually, in terms of the decorating of our hallways, was Game of Thrones. So we did like a Game of Thrones inspired Dean Boyer banner. Because we've done Dean Boyer for the past 2 years, we sort of wanted to move past that. You know, it feels a little tired in some sense. So this year we went Dean Boyer-less, but yeah, I thought last year was really great. I mean, the people who worked on it did an amazing job, and we're really happy that they were able to do that for us.
How do you feel about this year's competition?
Yeah, so I haven't looked around at too many of the other ones, but the ones that I've seen that are neighboring us look really great. So we're just going in, with a positive attitude and hoping to do as well as we can. And the thing is, ultimately we get to hang the banner in our house for the rest of the year anyway, so that's like a win in itself, maybe.
So the banner competition is an event put on by the Student Alumni Committee every homecoming. This is our 5th banner competition, and it's a chance for students to get more involved with the homecoming celebrations. 5 years back it was pretty quiet, pretty calm, and this weekend we're expecting 4,000 people to come back, and this is kind of like the best way to get students involved. Their artwork is displayed on the block party, right before the game, so it's really exciting.
What are you most excited for with this year's competition?
Well, we have a theme this year for the first time, 125 to celebrate the university's 125th anniversary. So we're seeing, students implement this theme in the most creative of ways, and it'll be exciting to see the winner this year and how they do that.
On Saturday before the big game, the university hosted a block party across from Stagg Field. Students and families in town for Parents Weekend were treated to music, free food, and games as they made their way to the stadium.
During the block party, Interhouse Council also held a tug-of-war competition featuring teams from each house. Reporter Mike Vasiliou spoke with IHC President Anthony Downer about the event and his role on campus.
The Interhouse Council is a group of 38 students and executive committee. We represent all houses in college housing. We meet weekly to talk about issues of dining, housing facilities, transportation, security. We also have a social philanthropy committee that deals with tug-of-war, quiz bow, and roommate game. So we're really just we're the elected body of all students in housing.
And what is your role in IHC?
So as president, I preside over executive committee meetings, General Assembly meetings. I also coordinate with a lot of offices and departments across the campus to try to get them in contact with the students in housing. So that can range from Logan Art Center to Booth School and everyone who's interested in talking to students in college housing.
So what's new in IHC this year?
So this year we have a brand new director of college housing. She's serving as our advisor, that's Sophia Chaknis. And this year we're also celebrating our 40th year, so we were founded in 1975. So 40 years of excellence is what I like to say in college housing. So throughout the year we'll be going through the history of every single house, especially as we prepare for Campus North. And with our 38 houses, we'll be throwing a huge event in winter or spring quarter.
Cool. So what's the tug-of-war event today?
The tug-of-war is part of our homecoming festivities, and we basically took a few houses. We had about 16 houses come out, and they competed in a bracketing system. We had 3 matches. The first 2 matches are complete, and the final match will be between Graham and Stony Island during our homecoming game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add?
That's all. Thank you for taking the time.
Sure.
We're really trying to work on sharing the responsibility between all IHG reps and all the houses. So we got a lot of feedback last year and years prior that people don't know IHC, people don't understand what we're doing, and so we're trying to share that responsibility, not just the president, not just the advisor, but all IHC representatives.
In another event marking both Homecoming Week and the celebration of the University of Chicago's 125th anniversary, on Friday, Dean John Boyer held a signing of his new book, The University of Chicago, A History, at the Seminary Co-op bookstore. Due to popular demand, the originally scheduled single signing was instead replaced with back-to-back identical events to satisfy student and faculty interest. Each event included a presentation on the book, a question and answer period, and the signing itself. The book, titled A History, represents the culmination of extensive research and distillation of fact from fiction on the part of Boyer, who utilized the university's archives to create a narrative showing the intrinsic connection between the University of Chicago's history and its current identity. The book also shows the connection between academics, student experiences, and the university's role in the Chicago community throughout its 125 years.
Finally, the Maroons put up a good fight at the homecoming game, but unfortunately came up short against Hendrix College. With a final score of 27-21, UChicago was boosted by strong showings from quarterback Burke Moser, who threw 43 yards to wide receiver Sam Coleman for a touchdown in the second quarter. The Maroons' defense also fought hard with 15 tackles from linebacker Jackson Gary. At the end of the day, the Maroons' record is now 5-2, with a game on Halloween against Swanee. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Maroon TV News. I'm Liz Stark.
I'm Louise Simpson. Have a great week.